Hello again, people of YouTube. This is InfernoRemastered again. Right, now this week's Let's Build. Now, last week, actually, because the chamber messed up recording-wise, and I had to rebuild it a second time, I actually found that instead of having to edit my original buildings from the times I'm sat doing nothing, it is actually just much easier to build the chamber a second time and just show you guys exactly what I've done. So, this is my chamber. For this week's task that Rage has set is it's just supposed to be I think it was a assault course of some sort, so I've put in all sorts of obstacles for him to go under, over, round, so we'll see how we get on. Right, so we'll start a new test chamber. Let's begin. Now, I think I've been a bit extra mean this week to Rage, because last week I think I counted the votes, and I think I was actually supposed to have won last week. So this week I am making sure I kill him twice as much, just for the extra revenge. So if you are watching this, Rage, it's your own fault. Right, let's have a look. So firstly I need to start by setting all of my walls to non-portable walls, unless I'm making a chamber that involves lots of portals. Right, first obstacle for Rage to get over is going to be a wall, or a jump, or a hurdle, as you might want to call it. How many pressure plates do they use? 1, 2, 3, I think that's 4. Yes, because I made it one wider. That's right. I like it to be all evenly spaced. Where was my entrance? Was in the middle. Right, the thing that Rage is going to have to do in this chamber is take his companion cube with him. So it's called saving private companion brackets cube. Basically he needs to take his cube with him all the way to the end. There are other cubes later in the map which he cannot continue with, because if he tries to use those, he will continue. They will get reset. So he's going to have to take this cube with him the whole way from the map. Well, I say the whole way. He actually only needs to take it about half the way. If he takes it with him to the end, the block he puts on will actually just set off a trap. So the last little bit he doesn't actually need to use the cube, but the first part of the map is going to make him think he needs to use the cube, which is kind of the whole point of this whole first chamber. Right, so firstly I had so this week also, so instead of just killing him with lots of lasers, I've got lots of fizzlers, because he's got to take the cube to him at the end. If he gets hit by a fizzler, then he's going to have, the cube's going to get reset, and he's going to have to go back and get the cube. Then at Rage he'll just reload the map because he likes to save it as he goes. So I had one of these was going to make it, but went through the fizzler. So he would lose the cube. Another one was going to make it under the fizzler. Another one was annoyingly going to send him. Oops, didn't want that. Send him all the way across the map, but it's going to send him through a death laser. So one of these, annoyingly, was set right to the end. That's not going to work. Right, and the fourth one went into a trap of mine, which actually just sent him straight up through the ceiling. See if I can do that again. This isn't a very simple trap, so I don't mind showing how I've created this. It's very simple. Just put the laser in here on the correct wall, of course. Set to kill, and then there was a trigger block connected to the laser, so he would get launched directly up, hit the trigger once, which will turn the laser on, so it needs to start enabled. So he'll pass through it, hit the top, the laser will then turn on, and he'll just drop back down through the laser. So usually there's only one kill option, one that will nearly kill you, and if you're quick enough, you won't get killed. One that will kind of just do nothing, which sends through the Fizzler, and one so. But this week I've done extra kills because I believe I should have one last week. Right, the second was I had a reset button for at the beginning, just set to the cube. So if he needs to get sent back to the beginning, and he's left the cube behind, he can retake the cube. But no rage, he's just. If people aren't saving, I've set that for people who don't save. Rage does saves, so he probably won't need to use that button. He'll probably investigate and see what it is. Right, in the second area, I had an actual, well, I don't usually have many of, but a portal puzzle. We had 2 buttons, and we had a laser, which was 3 in. Now, one of these, let's just connect a random one up, it's going to be connected to the laser. Obviously I hide all my connections. Let's do it now. I probably won't hide all my connections when showing you this, just because it takes time, and I always forget where they are. Oh yeah, connection, I was right there, connection visibility. So this has to place the companion cube onto the button. Now one is connected to the lasers to deactivate the laser so we can continue. The other one is connected to the cube reset, so he will lose the cube. And at this stage he's actually got no option of going back, so the only thing you'll be able to do is kill yourself to start again. In the second part I actually set a reset, so he could jump back to the beginning. There's a reason for that, because there's a reset point here where from halfway through the map he can end up being back at the beginning. So once he set the cube down on here and gone past the laser, he then needs to pick up the cube. So I had in here, just so we can not glitch it and jump to the next portal, a portable surface. And I decided to use, just for some strange reason that annoys Rage to hell, is you have the auto portals. Now if you set an auto portal in the map, it basically means you cannot use the orange portals, you can only use the blue portals. So what happens at the start of the map, before you even enter, is you get handed the blue portal gun. You have no way of turning that off. It frustrates the hell out of Rage, but if somebody has chosen to use the auto portals in their maps, you will get handed the gun. So if I can use an auto portal somewhere in the map, I think one of my maps I just set an auto portal somewhere when you did not need to use any portals, just for him to pick up the gun, just to frustrate him. So I like just, yeah, if I can frustrate him as much as possible, I will do so. I also had a Fizzler here, which started unenabled. There's a reason for this Fizzler, which we'll come back to later. Yeah, disable the Fizzler. Moved him back slightly. I also had, now these don't start enabled, they have to be activated either by a button or turning on. So I had a input, so as he walks in here, it turns the portal on. That way he can't set up the blue portal and jump straight through. He has to pass the laser, walk into the chamber this way, which will then activate. So this portal will then be turned on, and he'll be able to, as long as he set a portal on this wall, he'll be able to pick up the cube and take it back past the first laser. So that is the first little puzzle. Now the second one is fairly simple. He has another laser. Now obviously cubes can travel through lasers, and Rage can't. So the second one is just going to have another pressure plate connected to a laser. And all he needs to do is place his companion cube on the pressure plate, walk past, and then pick up the companion cube whilst he's in the area here to pull it past the laser. Now, what does that do for this bit? I think I had a... next bit, I believe I just had a kill laser set, just to frustrate Rage. And again, I'm not going to show you how I hide this laser, because people steal my ideas. and we'll find everyone will have the same kill lasers that I'd use. So he'll go and place the companion cube or step onto here, which will just send, thinking he needs it, because there is, and the reason why he's going to think he needs to put something on there simply is because there is going to be another laser in front of him. I think this was actually over here. Why is it not going over there? Move. There we go. Now he could actually avoid this laser if he was crouched when he sits on the button, but he's not going to be able to see it. It's going to be hidden. Yeah, this will set that. So he's not going to see this laser, but he's going to see this laser, which is currently a fizzler. So if he's going to assume it's similar to this, where he needs to put something on the button to deactivate this laser, which actually, no, it wasn't set there. It was set there. Which he doesn't need to do so, he actually just needs to walk up to the laser and it will deactivate. And to get him to walk up to the laser, I placed a second cube. Let's move that out of the way. Here, so if he's trying to figure out what's happening, so like, why is there a second cube? And he'll walk up to the second cube, which will deactivate the lasers. And I set some glass here because I wanted him to, instead of having to put trigger points all the way across the front of the laser, I've just set some glass up, so we just have to walk, we're going to have to set up 3 in the middle. So I'm sure this is, again, if this is not exactly how my map is, it's likely I've yeah, that was right, I had it there. So that was like so. Yeah, so it doesn't end up exactly how my map is when you see Rage play it. It's just because I'm doing this just off from memory. It's not going to be 100%. What was I doing? I need another one of these. Oh, failing. Actually, that helped. So he needs to go grab the second cube because he's going to need 3 cubes at the end of the map, and you should see why. So I had trigger inputs, which I'm not going to link up across here. So all he has to do is move up to this next cube, which will deactivate this laser, so we can continue. So that's just a first little trap for Rage, and I've actually made this a lot longer, and then on the end, no, a bit too high. So the way to, he then needs to get down to the next level. So he needs to get up onto this platform. So he already has his companion cube, and he's picking up a second cube, which you can't see because of the trigger inputs here. And there's going to be a third cube at the back. So it's being a map where he's got to the Assault course, he's going to have to use the cubes. Assault course, you have challenges on them, so he's going to have to use the cubes to make his way, as you've seen him do on many of his maps, up the side with the 3 cube stack. Now he's going to need to have the companion cube at the top and take the companion cube with him, because as he goes through this hole, I have put a trigger input, so as he falls down, this trigger input will reset these 2 cubes. So if he chooses to take these 2 cubes with him, they'll get reset and he'll be left with no cube. If he, however, he takes the companion cube, it will not be reset, he'll take that with him. I've left him a hint in the email I've sent him saying, because I've got a funny feeling he would get stuck on this and not realise he has to just take the companion cube. So my hint to him is to take the companion cube and only the companion cube. Whether he'll try to do that, I'm sure he'll throw some extra blocks down the bottom to try to glitch the map later, but when he jumps down it will reset those cubes, so he can only be left with the companion cube and not any of the others. Now I've kind of set, these aren't really traps, this is just for the theme. When you have an assault course, you have to duck, dive and go under things. So one side I have set fizzlers just at the eye level fizzlers are more visible than eye level lasers, but I've set some eye level fizzlers which the 2 blocks he needs to get the third block, he could build this either side of this this square. He's going to have to, if he does not spot them, he's going to walk into the fizzlers and they're going to get reset, so he's going to either have to go back and get them, or depending which one he was taking, if he doesn't spot them, when he does spot them, he just realises I can crouch with the block or just aim the block down at the ground and walk through the fizzler. And so you can choose to go that side or this side. So this is a bit easier because you can stay upright and walk through the fizzler. The other side is going to actually be the longer side, because he will need to crouch, which means he'll walk slower, because it is going to be a death laser instead. So that was the first level, and well, I've made that a very large drop. Right, then onto the next chamber. Now, this is actually going to be the last time he needs a cube in the map, which is literally the only reason why he needs to hit the companion cube is to get past this laser. Once he's got past this laser, he in fact doesn't need to take the cube the rest of the way. But the fact I've named the map saving private companion brackets cube, he's going to have it in his head he needs to take the cube all the way to the end. I'm hoping so. So it's going to be basically the same as before. Basically, he needs a cube to get past this laser. He needs to leave something on the block, walk past the block. He could just leave the cube on the block, but if he wants to take it with him, he can do the same trick as previously. He'd done so up here. So these cubes, if he throws these cubes down, they will deactivate the laser, but when he jumps down, they will disintegrate because the cube will be reset. Right, I can't remember how wide I made this chamber in here. I think it was this wide. I need to give it a C. I need to raise it up. Right, now in here, at the start, I believe I just set a nice pattern of portable surfaces on the floor. That was it. I had a trigger input here as well. So as he walked into this chamber, this cube here turns this fizzler on. So if he sets a portal on any of these surfaces and decides to jump through it, he will jump through to here, and then if he walks through the fizzler, it will deactivate his portal, meaning he cannot go back through the portal. So actually I think this fizzler, I can't remember if I had it there or if I had it closer. I think I had it closer. So if he goes through the fizzler, he's going to be stuck back at the beginning. So he can jump on this to reset himself and grab the cube and start all over again. But knowing Rage, he will save, so he'll probably just load back his previous save point. So this nice pattern of portals is just to try to get, whether he falls for them or just walks over them, it's just to try to get Rage to set a portal and reset himself. He doesn't usually fall for these ones on the floor or on the walls. Yeah, maybe I haven't done so. I might go back and put some portals on the wall. Yeah, I think I should do that as well. Right, now the next one, so it being an assault course, again you need another assault courses. Oops, how did that happen? Assault courses always have obstacles, obviously you have like walls to climb. So there's another wall. So the first one's a wall to jump, then you've got to build, say, a ladder, and this one is going to be to scale the ramp. So I had 3 ramps in here. I can just do that. And when you get to the top of the ramp, now I've just realised there's actually a way you can glitch around these if you're so clever, but hopefully you won't notice. The first one is just going to be frustrating, and it's going to have 2 trigger inputs, because I found previously if you have 1 triggered input which drops the ramp, when you walk to the next part of the ramp that's flat, it moves back up again. So the first one was just going to drop, stay down, so he can't get up. The middle one he's going to walk up, but something's going to kill him at the top. And then the final one is going to drop, which is going to confuse the hell out of him, but when he walks to the end, he will then push him up. Hopefully he's going to figure that out by himself and not give up. These lasers I didn't really hide too much because it's more just complicating. Right, so at the top of this ramp there was going to be a ground level laser, so basically he cannot get through going up this ramp, which this trigger will activate. That's going to be death laser. And the final one is going to be a fizzler set to eye level, which won't be active, and that will be activated when he gets to the top of this ramp. So when he walks up this ramp, he'll die, he can't get past. But I've just realised if he actually jumps at an angle, he'll be safe from this ramp, but hopefully he shan't do that, because he will set the laser off, but by the time he lands on this square, it'll be turned off. Or in fact, he could just jump through. Yeah, I did not realise that. So yeah, so hopefully he won't realise. But there's a couple of ways he can get past that puzzle. I'm not fussed if he jumps past that one fairly quickly, because he's still got 2 more puzzles to get through. Now, after that puzzle, he has. That's right. Or bridge to get by. Now, again, in SOC courses you usually have rope bridges across things, so this had 2 light bridges. Now, this annoyed me a bit because I had to make it uneven, and I didn't like that, but it still worked. So here we had 2 light bridges going across the water. Now the reason why I had to make it uneven and pull these walls out is because these trigger inputs have to be set on a surface. I can't just make them hover in mid-air, so I've had to set them on the side of these walls. So one of these is going to have trigger inputs at the start here, so if he goes to jump onto the light bridge, it will just disappear and he'll fall through the water and die. The second bridge is going to have 2 trigger inputs at the end, so he will be able to walk on the bridge at first, and when he carries on it will then disappear, so he needs to jump from one bridge to the other bridge halfway for them not to disappear, and then that will allow him to get to the end. And then the final is sort of just the last chamber is actually just a trap, so he's going to jump down into, but I'm not going to give away, so I'm just going to make a boxed room for now, just to give you the gist. If you want to find out what happens in the trap, you're going to have to watch Rage go through the level, or you can play the map through. I'll leave the link to the map in the description. Come on, portal. I don't want portal. I want minor surface. That way. There we go. So he'll get down here. He should be able to see the exit, but he's going to be facing the exit is this way. So he should be able to see the exit. Oops, that's the door. Wait a minute. Where is the exit? It's all the way up here still. There we go. No, he'll be able to see the exit. The room is a bit larger than this, but he'll be able to see the exit. And he will see a laser in front of the exit. So the laser again is just going to deactivate when he walks towards it. And he will see a button here, which is going to be a cube button, which is going to activate the trap. So the fact he's walking forward, when he drops down here, he'll see the button directly in front of him. He might turn around and see the laser and think, oh right, I need to put something on that button to activate that laser. Put something on the put the cube on the button. If he's quick enough to take the cube back off and you realise what's happening, then he's not going to die. But hopefully he'll do so, because this is, to be honest, it's probably set more like so, maybe not so wide. Let's just kind of show you. So he's going to put it on the button here, and something's going to happen to him to kill him. If he takes off quick enough, he won't die. If he just walks towards the laser, it will deactivate and he'll be able to finish the level. I think that is pretty much how my map did pan out. So thank you very much, guys, for your comments on your previous map. So if you want to watch Rage play this map through, I'll have a link to his channel in the description below. So at the moment, I think I'm currently winning for last week, so hopefully I'm going to get into the Hall of Fame soon. But you guys have been a lot of help, so I hope you guys have enjoyed. I shall see you guys next week.